I have been asked to make a Christmas cake for a children's Christmas party, and I think this is ideal because it's simple and it's fun. I'm going to show you how to cover the sides of the cake with the icing and get this gâteau effect, how to do the piping technique around the edge, and some really fun techniques on how to do the tree and the snowman. My name's Claire, so let's get going. I'm going to start with a really handy tip for you. I've already covered my cake in a crumb coat, and this stops any little crumbs of the sponge coming out and making a mess of your final layer. Now, it's been in the fridge chilling for about half an hour, and now I'm ready to go in with my next layer, which is my white chocolate buttercream. Now, this is delicious, and if you want the recipe for this, it's in the description below. So we just take a palette knife, and we just want to put a nice layer, quite a generous layer, all the way around your cake, and making sure it's thick enough that it covers any parts of the sponge that were still left on show. Okay, and then once you've put a layer all around the side, you want to put some on the top. And then just smooth it around. Use your palette knife. You can see also I've got my cake on a turntable. If you've got one, they are really handy. So I'm using my turntable to have a nice smooth layer on the top. Okay. Now I want to just go round the side just to take away any little lumps. Just use your palette knife for that. Right, now I want to have like a gâteau effect on my cake. So I've got this. This is a gâteau effect scraper. If you haven't got one, I've got a really handy tip for you. Take a takeaway container, a plastic lid, and you can actually just get some scissors and snip your own little pattern onto it. So I want to put this on the side, and I'm just gonna, you don't want to push in too much because you don't want to take all your frosting off again, but we just want to get that indentation. And again, turntable's really handy for this. As it builds up, just take it off and scrape it back in your bowl, and then just keep going around. There we go, lovely. If you want to, if you've got any excess on the top, you can actually take the flat edge of your scraper and you can just bring them in like that. Okay, now I've got my gâteau edging. Now I want to show you how to do some piping on the top. In my piping bag, I have got a 1M star nozzle, but I haven't actually filled my bag yet because I want to show you a tip on how I fill them. You need a container, whether it be a glass or in this case a jug, just something that you can actually rest your bag in upright so you've got your hands free. And then you just want to fold the top edge over. Now you can take your filling with your two free hands and you can place your filling into the bag. There we go. And then what we do is we just unfold it as we pick it up, and you can just give it a little bit of a shake like that. Get it all down to the bottom. And look, I've got no air bubbles, and I just give it a little twist, and now I'm ready to pipe. So we're going around the edge, and that's really great because if you did have any bits that weren't quite neat when you were doing the previous bit, it's going to cover it all. So I'm going to make a start now, like so. Squeeze, pull down, squeeze, pull down, squeeze, pull down. Lovely. It just finishes it off really nicely and looks so professional. Now we need to keep this because we're going to actually use this on the next bit, which is this amazing trick on how to make them wonderful trees. I've got some spaghetti here, and you want to place this in your cake where you want your tree to be, and then take your piping bag with your chocolate buttercream in and vertically put it all the way down so the spaghetti goes into your nozzle. When you get to the bottom, you want to squeeze and then let go and come up and squeeze again, but a bit less, and then just keep repeating until you've got to the top like that. And there you have it, a lovely little Christmas tree. Now I'm going to repeat that, although this time I don't need the spaghetti because I'm going to put it actually up against the side of the cake. So I'm going to turn the cake slightly so I can see what I'm doing. And I just want to repeat. Now, because we don't have the spaghetti, you're actually using the side of the cake as your support. So repeat again. So squeeze and then up, squeeze up. Like so. Lovely. There we go. Can you see that fabulous looking Christmas tree? It looks amazing. Now what I want to do is actually add some decor to my trees whilst they're still wet before it's set. So I have got here some nice little sprinkles, and these are like little miniature baubles. So I'm going to sprinkle them on this tree. Looks so cute. And then the same on this one here. And then next up, I've got this. Now, this is some sugar crystals, just to add a little bit of sparkle to the trees. Lovely. And of course, lastly, we need these. These are tiny little sugar stars. And we're just going to place one on each of our trees, just to finish them off. Lovely. How cute is that? Now we're ready for our snowman. I've brought this cake back in because I want to show you now how to make this really cute little snowman. Now, you can go out to the shop and you can buy white chocolate truffles, or you can make them, and I've chosen to make them. And if you want the recipe, it's in the description below. It's very simple. So it's nice and chilled, and what we want to do is effectively have 2 bowls for the snowman's body and head. So just take a teaspoon and spoon out a lump of your truffle mix, and then you just want to place it in your hands, and essentially you're just going to roll it into a ball. There we go, very simple. And then just place that down, and then you want to repeat, but this time slightly smaller, because that was the body and now we're doing the head. There we go. Now, as you can see, I've already got 2 here. These are 2 that I made earlier, and the reason I've already made them is because I needed to put them in the fridge because they need to be quite firm. So what we're going to do now is dip it in some melted white chocolate. Simply take one of your bowls and drop it in the chocolate, roll it all around until it's completely covered. You just take it out and just take off any excess, and you place it onto some greaseproof paper. Like so, and then we want to repeat with the other one. There we go. So if you just put it in the freezer for about 5 minutes until the chocolate has set and gone firm. Now for the fun bit, assembling our snowman. And I want to show you here what I've got on this plate. I've got a selection of sweets. So some chocolate buttons, some black pearls, some gummy sweets, and some candy ribbons. And you can be creative depending on what you can get from your local supermarkets. I've also got here some of my leftover white chocolate, and I've popped that into a piping bag, and just take some scissors and snip the end off, only a very little bit, and then we're ready to use this as our glue. So to start with, we want to place some of our white chocolate onto the body, and then we can place our head on top. Okay. Then what we want to do is start adding the features. Now, I want to put a scarf around my snowman, and I just thought these were absolutely perfect, but they're a little bit too wide, but I love the colours on them. So I'm literally going to take some scissors, and I'm just going to cut them in half long ways. There we go. And you can choose which colour you want, whether or not you want the purple and the yellow or the green and the red. I'm going to go with green and red because it's quite festive. And you start by just wrapping it around him just to see what length you want. Actually, I think it's already the perfect length, so I'm not going to shorten it. But what I am going to do is take my scissors and just snip like a proper scarf. I'm going to snip the ends so it looks like a nice woolly scarf. Okay, lovely. Now, I want to put a bit of white chocolate, because it kind of acts as your glue, just around the neck. Okay, and then you want to take it and wrap it. I'm going to start by putting one bit round all the way and sticking out a little bit, and then folding this one over like that. And then what you do is to make it stick, once you know where it's going to go, just put a little bit of chocolate on it again to act as glue. And then you can just fold that over and round like that. It looks cute. Okay, next up, let's do the hat. So a little bit of glue again, the white chocolate on top of the head. And this is where these chocolate buttons are so much fun because they make a perfect brim of a hat. So just place it on, and you can place it straight on like that. You can put it at a slight angle if you want, a little bit of character. And then take a gummy and put that on top of the hat. Here we go, so much fun. Next up, the nose. And of course, for the nose, we need a carrot. Now, I've got some orange gummies here, and I'm going to cut a little nose shape out of them. So I've just cut a strip off, and then simply cut it into a triangle. There we go. And then to glue him on, you just want to put a tiny bit of your white chocolate on the end there. And then stick him on. Now I've actually got him facing me so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, next up then is we need that coal look. And for that, I'm using these black pearls. Now take your chocolate and pipe either side of your nose, just a little bit, and that's for the eyes. And then for the buttons down the front here. And then we want to take these little black pearls and stick them on. And there we go. He's finished. Isn't he cute? Now he's ready to be placed on top of our cake. And of course, it's a Christmas cake. So it's really important, I think, that we have a little Merry Christmas on it as well. And just to finish off, I want to put a little bit more sparkle on it. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more of this sugar over it, which is like a sparkle sugar. And there we have it. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. It's really fun, really simple, and I think the perfect cake for a children's Christmas party. And if you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.